Hello to everyone watching, and welcome to the final episode of my Sonic Omens No Pause Buffer guide. Today we're going to be looking at the two final episodes of the game. Episode 6, Worlds Colliding, and Episode 7, The Last Omen, which really is just the final boss. As always, there's going to be timestamps and important links in the description below. And as always, I also have my input display at the bottom right corner. And as mentioned, this is the final episode, so this will be covering the final two episodes of the game. And yeah, if you haven't seen the previous episodes and you want to learn the full game, make sure to check out that playlist in the description below. And with all that being said, we're going to get right into this. There's quite a few things, so because this is the final episode, I mean, it's either one episode 6 and then one episode 7, but I decided to put them together since episode 7, as mentioned, is just the final boss. So it would not make sense to have a video on that for its own. So because of that, it's going to be a little bit longer than usual. Not going to try to stretch it too long. These levels aren't super complicated, but there are still some stuff. But I'm going to try to see if I can squeeze it in, but it might be a little bit over half an hour compared to the usual half an hour for each of these episodes. But yeah, with all that being said, let's jump into the final episode where we left off. We just defeated Metal Ember, and here we go into Sonic's dream. So, you cannot control anything here, you cannot move anything here. You just have to wait and let this play out. And for this section here, if you remember from playing it casually, you can't boost, you can't homing attack. There's not a lot of things to do. You can technically do this dash here, which is what we're going to be doing. But you have no momentum, you have no speed, there's nothing you really can do. You can't do slide jump boosts, you can't do anything. Bounces don't give you momentum or anything. You can try to gain a bit from the things here, but as you see, it's very minimal. And from our experience, the fastest way to traverse this section here is just by jumping and then immediately dashing like this. Maybe even walking normally is also just as fast. But there's really only one time save here, and it's when you get up here. Instead of taking this and, you know, doing all this, and all this is super annoying, what you can do is you can instantly get up to this thing here with a triple bounce. So what we do is we instantly get up to this thing here, and then we just bounce, and then we go like that, you see? And there's really not much to it. It's just a triple bounce to get up to this thing here, and then you can bounce off that thing and then get up there. And that's really all there is to it. So we just make our way here. And usually I split around when I hit Chris, if this was a speedrun. You can do whatever you want to do, but you get to Chris, and that's when you are able to skip the cutscene. So this is pretty basic. There's not much optimization. There used to be some very cool momentum you could do in previous versions. If you want to IL speedrun this, you can use the previous versions that are in the resources on the speedrun.com page and speedrun the stage if you want to with the old physics. But with the current physics here in 3.2.0, this is all you can do. So yeah, you just go here and boom, there you go. So that's Sonic's dream. Very fast, very quick over, and sets up right for the next stage, which is going to be Weeping Rift. And for Weeping Rift, if you remember casually, this stage is super annoying. There's tons of things you gotta do. We have a lot of routing to do. Actually, no, we don't. So all we do in this stage is we fly up here. And you see this wall here. It's kind of like, there's like a corner here. And what you want to do is you want to fly from the bottom here. You want to enter this corner and stay as close to it as possible. You're going to bonk, you're going to hit yourself, so try to have full health. And then you can actually make it out of bounds. So we're just going to do that real quick. Like this here. Wait a minute. Just like this. As you see, I'm getting hit quite a little bit, but there we go. I am out of bounds. And if you try to fly over here, you're going to get pushed back down in bounds. Just like that. So let's retry that real quick. This is going to take a little bit of practice. But once it's not as hard as the other plane tricks, or well, specifically as it's not as hard as Wild Ridge. I would say it's the second hardest plane stage in the game because you have to do this trick here, and this trick can be quite annoying. Especially pretty easy to bonk quite a lot here, but usually you can make it up, and yeah. It's just about doing that, what I just did right there. Just copy what I did and learn a wiggle, and it can be much, much faster. This is just a quick way to show like how it's possible to do it, but you can optimize it and be much faster. You don't need to go in all the way from the bottom as I did right there, but that's just to be safe. But yeah, I mean, you can try going up earlier, you watch speedruns, and then you'll see like different versions of doing it. It's all about just optimization, but you get up here, and then you can just fly straight through this. This is not solid at all. And now you just need to get to the end of the level. Very simple. Also, with this skip here, we have completely skipped Metal Ember, so I want to call this Metal Ember skip. Because, or not Metal Ember, sorry. You've skipped Ember, not Metal Ember. Ember, the actual Guardian. Something to quickly note here is if you are too close to the stage is over here. If you are too close to the stage, you're actually going to be pushed back into the stage. So to avoid that happening, I recommend staying on the right side of this little thing here, right? As long as I'm here, as you see here, this is still fine. But if I go too close, I'm going to be pulled back in and smashed directly in, and it's going to ruin the entire trick. So you don't want that to happen. You want to stay here. But once you get past that, now you want to stay as close to this wall as possible to save time. So just hug this wall as much as you possibly can. Follow the wall, basically, right? Like, use the wall as a guide to where you have to go. And then just follow this wall. Keep following the wall. This is solid, by the way, so if you do hit it, you will take damage, so don't hit it. And here, you don't want to go in there. You want to stay out here. Don't go in there. Stay out here. Then you do this. And now you want to fly in here, because you're going to get pushed. You're going to feel you get pushed. There you go. You get pushed. And now you're in the Ember section. However, you still have the speed boost that you gain from the Ember section. So as you can see, we have the stripes around our screen, and we're going super fast. And this allows us to get to the end incredibly quickly. And with proper execution, it's possible to get a 225 or something on this stage. So, from here, it's just a sprint to the end. There's not much to do. You can try to, you know, make sure that your lines are as best as possible. It really just comes down to minor optimization, but there's really not much going on here despite just, you know, using time to get over here. So, yeah. That's Weeping Rift. Very simple. Very straightforward. You clip out of bounds, or get out of bounds at the beginning, and then you just do that right there. Something to note is that the ground below is solid, so you do want to make sure you avoid the ground below where you're flying in the start when you've made it out. So just keep that in mind. Now for the last shadow stage and last shadow boss, we have Maria here. Maria is pretty simple, but I'm just going to quickly explain how her cycles work, because she basically has 3 phases. And they work as following. The first phase, she's going to do the laser attack we're about to see. Then she's going to do a wave attack where she shoots out waves. And then she's going to shoot up mines. When those mines explode, drones are going to spawn. And those drones you want to Chaos Blast as fast as possible. And that's phase 1. Basically, this will repeat 3 times. When the drones spawn is when you can attack her. And you can attack her way earlier than you think. And I'm going to show how. But yeah, that's phase 1. For phase 2, Meta-Ricks will spawn, and waves will come in, then she'll do a random attack, and then she'll do another random attack, and then the drones spawn again. Basically, it's 3 attacks, and then the drones for each phase, and we're going to explain how as it goes on. So, we have the lasers here. This is the first attack. All you gotta do is really just slide here, like, you know, or just run here. Also, make sure to have at least 1 ring on you at all times. And for these, you can try to stay in the edge here, but really there is no exact way to avoid all of these. She can choose to hit you over here all this way as well. But that's your wave attack. You just want to avoid that manually. And for these, you want to wait until they explode. When they explode, that's when you want to jump and use Chaos Blast. I'm just going to, just for the purpose of it, I'm going to show you the drones. So here are the drones. And casually, you know, that these drones, they're going to have less and less time for you to hit them each phase. But we just cast blast them immediately, even before you can see them. So it doesn't even matter at all for us. So just make sure you have one cast blast. And then you don't have any meter left. But the Metarex spawn, which gives you meter. So now you just attack, boost, attack, attack, boost, 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 attack, and you have full meter. Very simple, right? And so you just do it again. And here's the thing: she's going to for phase 2, she does a random attack. Like her attacks are it's always free cycles, but which attack she chooses to do is random. Like here she chose to do laser, for example. So you just avoid the laser, they come up, you explode them, and it always hits them. Just make sure you're close to Maria when that happens. So if you're too far away, if you're like out here, you know, where these drones are, or the Metarex are, like if you're out here or something, you might, you know, actually not be able to do it. So for the last third phase here, after the Metarex, after the Metarex is spawned, she's going to do free waves as well as attacks, but it's 2 attacks at the same time. So it's free waves of 2 attacks at the same time. And really just comes down to practice, but once you have that last phase end is when you know that you want to do the Chaos Blast. So for example, right now it's phase 2. So we're gonna wait here. And there's phase 3, or that's wave 3. So this is the last wave, and after that, her drones are going to spawn, and we're going to end the fight. So before we do that, I'm going to quickly, I guess I can show, if you haven't seen, you see the drones are going really fast now, and you have almost no time. Boom, they disappear. So, yeah. I'm just going to show real quick how this boss looks in execution real fast, because I just explained it. It's pretty simple. There's really not much to it. There is a capsule over here that you can grab. If you don't have meter, you can do that. There's 2 capsules. But, yeah. For phase 1 here, it is always laser, wave, mines. After that, it becomes random what attacks she will do. But you will always do free attacks. So you just need to make sure. You see there, it hit all the way in the corner. So, yeah. But for this first phase here, this is all very consistent. You just wait for this. And then as soon as these explode, now, that's when you want to cast Blast. And you still manage to hit the drones. You want to do it way earlier than you think. It's possible to get 150. 150, around 150. Between 150 and 155 is where you're going to get when you're starting out, probably. Sub 150 is possible. So, she did the wave attack, now she does the mine attack. Then she's probably going to do the laser attack or the wave attack. I mean, again, it's random which move she does. Okay, there we go. That's a little bad timing. I didn't know we were in phase 3 because I was talking. So I forgot we were in wave 3. There we go. These are pretty annoying, but just is what it is. So that was phase, or wave 1. Now she does the waves and the lasers. Also, do keep in mind, if you get too close to Maria, you can actually get damaged, so don't do that. That can happen. You don't want that to happen. So just keep your distance. There we go. And that was phase 3. So, boom. There we go. And as you see, that's a 151. So that's decent. Over time, you're going to be able to save like 2-3 seconds here with good timing. 153, that's good for starting out. But yeah, there's really not much to it. And with that being done, that is the last Shadow stage and Shadow boss in the game. Finished. Really simple. We're going to move on to the last normal Sonic stage, which is the Citadel of Lotus. And for Citadel of Lotus, for this section here, you cannot jump, you cannot do anything. You are just on a track and you're forced to move forward. So really there's not much to do. So what we do is we just boost immediately. And then we go to the left, as you can see there. And that gives us that boost capsule. Then we go to the right. That gives us another boost capsule. And then there's these here. If I go back here, you can see there's these guys here. And normally you just go on this, but you can actually jump before you get here and then land down here if you're really fast. Then you can get these. Then you can jump here, and jump here. Something I quickly want to mention about this stage is that this stage is, you have to play it normally pretty much all the way through until right before the last generator, where you skip to the end, sorta. It does save time, but it's a pretty finicky skip, and it requires enough boost. So I'm going to talk about it, but for the most part, the stage is pretty normal. But I'm going to touch on a couple of things as we go through it. So yeah, it's really just replicate that movement there. Go here, get these guys, jump here, get this guy. You can boost here, boost for these guys. Here you want to slide down, get this, slide down. You can choose to either take this to get more meter or just boost jump, and sometimes you can even just jump all the way over there, but you can also use the grappling hook. But there is going to be a boost capsule over here that will refill your boost meter anyway to full boost, so you don't really need to do any of that. But I usually like to do this and then just go through here and then get these boost capsule there and get this boost capsule here. Here you want to slide under. And here, it's a bit weird. So you can choose to take these Meta-Wrecks on the side and then like boost from one of these Meta-Wrecks over to that last grappling hook, or take the grappling hook or do it casually. We usually try to get the grappling hook there in the distance. However, if you get on that grappling hook, the last grappling hook over there is sometimes a little bit finicky. And always make sure you have at least one ring on you here, because sometimes you grab on that grappling hook and no matter what you do, you are swung into an enemy. And if you have 0 rings, there you go, run dead. So let's see if it acts normally this time. So I do this here and then swing. Yeah, there you go. You see that right there? That sometimes just happens no matter what you do. And because of that, always have one ring on you here, but really it's just about making it here as fast as possible. Then you grab these boost capsules here, go to the left. You can go to the right here to quickly turn the corner. You can get this boost capsule right there. I'm just going to do a real quick restart here. Oh, not restart, but like just die, so I can quickly show it in this quick succession here. So you grab the left one, 1, 2, on the side there. Then you wait, then you quick step up, go down here, and then you can grab this thing. And so I'm going to quickly mention about these grappling hooks, because we haven't really dealt with them much in the game, but here in this stage we do. So if I grab this grappling hook from the side, just like this, you see here, I go like forwards, right? I just go forwards. But if I grab it from below, I go way more up. So the way it works is it carries your momentum from which angle you grab onto it on. So you want to time it so that you gain upwards distance, but also like, it's not like a 45-degree angle, but it's like just a slight 45-degree angle, like a little bit more forwards than it is like upwards. So the angle that you grab it on depends on like the momentum that you get, and you can use it to get some, you basically just do it twice in this stage, but you can use it to do this, which as you can see skips you almost all the way over here. So that's just something to play around with and something you can do. So yeah, once you're here, we're going to be for the first time using our light speed attack. So all you do is, since we're playing on infinity controls right now, you hold down C, and that charges up your light speed attack, and then you just release it, and it hits all the enemies. And usually I jump and release it, because if you jump and release it, sometimes it has a bigger range than if you just do it on the ground. So jump, release, boom, there you go. And that's all she wrote. Sometimes if these guys grew up on you and they're annoying and they're attacking you and all the lightning and shit, what you can do is you can actually jump up here, and if you manage to stand up here, they can't attack you. They won't damage you. Then you just charge it up here, and then you just release it and go. But yeah, it's really just try to stay here, like over here, and then use it. Because if you get too close, they're going to start attacking you, and they're like, you might not be able to rev it up. So rev it up here, and then you can do it. And for extra time save, you can actually slide along the ground while doing it, as you see. So if you manage to land here, you can kind of do like, you can kind of like, you know, land, and then as you land, you can charge it up like this, and then, yeah. Very minor though, but you can do that. So So for this section, for these walls here, really, you just want to make sure you jump over them. That's all I gotta say. Like, just jump over them. You're going to get meter here anyway, so don't worry about that. Hit this reactor. There's nothing we really can do. Then we land here. Every time we land here and you try to boost, the game is going to stop your boost. Like, if I quickly respawn and I just try to boost. Okay, it doesn't do it now, but when you get there from fresh, you have to like double tap boost sometimes. Just keep that in mind. So what we do here is we go to the left and then to the right. Then you can boost here and land on this rock. Otherwise, you can take this grappling hook here. But you can also just land on this rock and then jump. And then get this guy from an angle. So you can boost over here. And here you don't really need to take all the rail. You don't need to take the whole rail this way. Then you get these two guys here. And here, this is where it gets interesting. Now we're underwater. And underwater physics in this game work quite oppositely to how the game normally works. So underwater, it's actually faster to not boost than to boost. So what we want to do is to boost into the water, but not boost while we're in the water. And when we want to boost in the water, we just want to tap boost, not hold it. So you see, if I hold boost here, this is super, super slow. We do not want that. But if on the other hand, I tap boost, see how much faster Sonic is here? It's really a contrast from the usual controls. So you have to get used to that. You also have a bit of moon physics, you know. You're a bit, you know, moon jumpy. You know, you have your jump is more floaty and stuff like that. But really, the main goal is just to boost in here like this. Then you can jump here. If you're cool, you can do a bounce there. And then just jump around the corner here. Make your way here. Hit one bubble. Be careful of these spikes here. That can happen. But your goal is to get up here. And you hear the counter. You want to lightspeed dash these. I'm probably too late. Yeah. Oh, it's just too late, as you can see right there. So that can happen. That's the goal. That's the route for this. For this. And it really just comes down to practice to get it down. So there, I realized I was not going to make it. Yeah, as you can see, that's a bit risky. So you don't need to do that. That is possible, but really just for beginner strats, we're just going to take the thing here. So you just go there. Then you land down here. You can use this to get up here. Make sure you land on this boost capsule. You're going to need that boost capsule. Then you can jump here and go there. Hit these two guys. Sometimes that top guy can be annoying. Boost in here. Boost once. That was weird. If stuff like this happens, just make sure to use time to actually go get these bubbles here. But be careful of that guy. That guy is really annoying. I will say, the part in the stage where that you're most likely to mess up, the run killer of the stage, is that section right there. This entire section from this checkpoint to the next checkpoint is the run killer. And the skip, of course. The skip that we're going to do at the end is also the run killer. But this section can be really annoying. So just, you know, keep practicing, keep trying. Eventually you're going to get more consistent at it. So we're just going to go down here. Hit this guy. Boom. Boost up. I'm going to go through the middle this time. There we go. Hit this guy. Wait for this to go low. Boost. Gonna try to preserve momentum. Okay, there we go. And bounce on this. And these rings can be annoying. Sometimes they want to go. Sometimes they go the other way. Try to find backups. You can back up by going down here below. If you notice, like down here, you can go down there and then grab onto that. And then, you know, pull yourself up and stuff like that. If you mess up the rings, just make sure you get out here before Sonic drowns. Then here you just go hit the spring. You can technically, if you want to be very technical, you can technically just triple bounce and boost up there. But hitting the spring is just a safer way. Then here, you just want to avoid these laser things. If you get hit once, it doesn't matter, just as long as you don't get hit twice. Then you grab here. You grab this boost capsule here. grab that boost capsule there. You can also grab the bubble shield. The bubble shield might actually be better because the bubble shield, you know, allows you to grab more rings on the way. So actually, I recommend going for the bubble shield. So go right, or go left, and then go back left here to get that bubble shield right there. Because you're gonna need it, because you're going to need as many rings as you possibly can for this next upcoming part here. So, hit these guys. This is a bit of... Usually I go on the left side, but it doesn't matter which side you go on, really. And then here is where the skip is. This is where the skip begins. So let's explain real quick how this works. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go out of bounds by avoiding some kill planes. And then we're going to like do some out of bounds movement to get on top of an invisible ceiling and go back inbounds and make it to the end of the level. And the thing to think about, this trick is that you need enough boost to make this trick work. So right now on 77%, 77% would be fine, I reckon. But just really try to have as much boost as possible. And I'll explain as I go along. But right now we have a good boost, so we just go through here. Normally I light speed dash here. There we go. And here normally you take the springs down here, but what we're going to want to do is go over here. And to quickly explain, I'm just going to pause here. So over here, there's a kill plane above here, and there's a kill plane below here. And we want to go right in between that. And the place you want to be, let me just verify it real quick to make sure I'm not spouting nonsense. Is around... First, that guy's going to hit me. Yeah, there we go. He always does that. That's too high. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, where you want to be is around there. Around there. You gotta play around with it. It's a pretty tight window, but you want to squeeze yourself like through here. I think that's where it is. I'm not gonna be like the what do you call it, the shadow video and say it's somewhere when it's not, and then have to edit it. We're just gonna try here. Yeah. So you see, if you're right, you know, between the black line that I showed you there. Let's just quickly gonna kill myself here just to quickly show again. So it just worked, you know. So as you can see, it is here. That is where you want to be. This area here. And once you make it here, you want to make your way over here to this side here, and you want to stomp down. And you don't want to be too far away from the wall. You also don't want to be too far away from the wall, because then you're going to hit a kill plane. So you want to be close to the wall and then stomp down. So we're going to go over here again. Double jump. That was too high, you see, because I went over the black line, which is what you don't want to do. So you want to stay under that black line there. Alright, this happens a lot. This trick's pretty tricky. It sounds simple on paper, sorta, but it is pretty tricky. There we go. Stomp down here. Boom. There you go. You're good. Now you want to move out. That was the rocket from inside that hit me there. Now, if I jump here, I'm actually going to die. So what I want to do is I want to move out of bounds. So see here where the camera changes. You want to just move away, because the camera is still doing this. If I jump here, I'm going to die. So you want to move your way over here. And once you're here, now you can jump. Not too high, though. If you double jump, I think... or you don't want to go this way. You don't want to go this way. You want to stay on this side here. So you want to, like, try to stay on the right side and then land over here on this guy here. So now you're out of bounds. Boom. Down here. Then you go over here. And now you're on here. If you go too much over to this side, you're going to die. So here, you want to go as far up as you can on this wall. This is a really slow way of doing it, but really you just want to make sure you preserve your boost. When you make it, we're going to make our way over here. So when you make it over there, over on top of this thing, you can't see that you're able to stand here now, but that black label going, or black like wall going around that big cylinder right there, you can stand on top of that. When you are on top of that, you want your meter to be at least 25%. At least 25%. That is pretty pushing it. So you want to save your boost meter so that you have at least 25% when you make it up there. So if I just burn boost here, we're not going to have that. So I'm going to use that there, jump, There's a ceiling here. You're going to bonk your head, but that's fine. You're just going to make your way over here. And I have 50%. You see, 50% is pretty good. Really, really good. But you want to make sure you don't go too high, because then you're going to bonk your head, and that bonk is going to just send you downwards. You can bonk your head a little bit, but if you bonk your head too fast, it's going to be over for you. So try not to make it too high, but you want to make your way around and over here. And once you land over here, you can go up here. And here I have 30% now. So that's fine. So now I just run my way here. And here. When you're here, you see this little line here that like kind of sticks towards this black thing here. The end of the stage is up there. This is where the end of the stage is, up there, right up there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a triple bounce, and then we're going to do some pretty precise aerial movement to make our way onto an invisible ceiling down there, and then clip and then go back inbounds. So once you stand here on this edge here, this specific edge here, you want to triple bounce, you want to boost, and you want to use all your boost. And then once you've used all your boost, you want to immediately do, what do you call it? You want to do the homing attack. You want to press shift, and that carries all your momentum. And then you can double jump with all the momentum to additionally make it up over an invisible wall. So we're going to do that right now. Boost. Dash, double jump to keep that dash, you see, boom, there we go, and now we're on here. And this is where you want to be. And if you are not high enough, as you see where I'm standing right now, I'm almost on the edge. I'm almost on the edge of the invisible ceiling here. So you need to be able to minimum make it here. So that's why it's a pretty tight jump, and the order that I just set right there is pretty important to remember. If you do another order, mess it up, you might actually just land down here and it's GG, and you have to respawn and do the trick again. So you want to make your way over here, land on top of this invisible ceiling here. And this invisible ceiling extends all the way over here. And then you want to go off the invisible ceiling, which I just did. That was to the right here. Like, the visible ceiling is up there, then you go this way, and then you can fall down. And now you fall down here. And once you are down here, you just go through this, and you get full meter, and now you can just boost up to the end of the stage. But quickly to note is that this, normally here, the game has loaded in your quickstep to go twice as far as it normally does. So on this wall, instead of quickstepping once, you need to quickstep twice to get this distance you normally do for once. So you need to quickstep twice. But that's really all there is to it. So now we just go up here. If this laser thing here, if you get hit by it once, you can fall off the wall, and if you fall off the wall, there's a kill plane surrounding the entire wall. So if you jump on the wall, there's also a kill plane. Don't do that. So what you want to do is if you're boosting and you see, oh, I'm going to boost into this thing here, you want to just stop boosting and, you know, time it so that you can make it through. So right now I'm waiting. Boom, there we go. Then I boost again. Go under this. 2 taps. 2 taps. Under here. 2 taps. I'm going to wait. Boost. There we go. So I make sure I make it through that purple thing, right? And then here, normally there's 3 doors. But guess what? Since we didn't load in those 3 doors, they're not here. I'm going to go straight to the goal ring. That's Citadel of Lotus. Hello, this is Dragon from the future speaking here. So during this part of the video, I wanted to retry the stage to show a full clean run of the level. However, it went horribly wrong, and I actually triggered a glitch where that your quickstep button stops working. Now, the only way to get rid of this glitch is to either restart the level or to completely quit the game sometimes. So it can literally ruin a run. If this happens to you at that specific last wall where it happened to me, I'm just going to show you this clip right here of how you can run up the wall without the quickstep button, because it might save your run. Quick note is that you do not want to touch the walls to the side in any way whatsoever, or you will fall off the wall and die to the kill plane above the wall. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. The quickstep button, bro, but we made it anyway. That took some time, sorry for that. That was definitely edited, so you don't have to see that entire thing there, but yeah, with all that being said and done, that's why Citadel skip is pretty hard, and don't worry if it's gonna take some time to get, because, hey, I'm a runner of this game, and look what happened to me. Yeah. Anyway, Citadel of Lotus done. And that is the last normal Sonic stage done as well. Oh wow. Yeah. With all that being said, we're moving on to the final boss of the game, which is the Exiled. And this is also episode 7, technically speaking, but really it isn't much to do. So, quickly to mention before we skip this cutscene here, we're going to be mashing F at the very start of the Exile fight. And because Exiled spawns, or not Exiled, sorry, because Sonic spawns in the air, you can actually activate Supersonic before you even get it. So I'm going to skip this normally, and I'm going to show you. We're just going to land normally here. Okay, no, I buffered it. So that's what we're going to do. But this is what normally happens. You just land down here, and you have no meter, and you have to collect meter, and you have to get Supersonic. We're going to skip an entire phase of doing that by just spamming F, and boom, we're Supersonic. So, Exiled is probably the most complicated boss in the game, which makes sense because he's the final boss. He has 2 phases and they work differently. For phase 1, if done right, you should be able to do it in about 3 cycles. And for phase 2, you can actually 2-cycle him, but we're going to talk about that later. Let's focus on the things right now. So, first of all, the hitbox on the Exile's head is on his head. I just said that. The hitbox on Exile is on his head, so that's where you want to when you want to aim, and you can use Time Warp to make the timing easier for hitting him. But really, it's just the timing of like constantly doing homing attack, and the timing is you hit it, and then you see that the reticle appears, and then right as the reticle appears, you homing attack again, and then you just repeat that cycle, and it's kind of like a rhythm. And if you are too quick to press the homing attack button, Sonic will double jump and you'll lose an attack. And if you are too slow, of course, you're losing time. But usually it's better to be a bit slower than it is to be faster, because if you're too fast, you might lose more damage than if you were just a little bit slower. So what we're going to do is we're just going to boost over to him and we're going to start attacking him. We're just going to boost, jump, and attack. You see? Reticle appear, reticle appear, reticle appear, reticle appear, reticle appear, reticle appear. There we go. And this is easier to do with the mouse than the spacebar from my experience. So you see the amount of damage we gave him there? That's decent. Let me try to show it a little bit faster. That's what you want to start out with doing. Normally 4 cycles is fine when you're starting out running this game. But this is the faster way to do it. You see how fast it is? It's pretty tight. But then you can get him to that much damage, which he is at right now. Which, even though it's pretty tight, it is also pretty doable. And you're gonna want him about where I have him right now. So what you do here after you've attacked him for the first time and you no longer have Supersonic, you want to gain back Supersonic. And the way you do this is you run around the arena in the edge and you grab the water bubbles and you grab the rings. And while you do that, Exiled has 3 attacks he can do. The one he's doing right now is the shockwave, where he goes up in the air like this and he's going to slam down into the ground and he's going to create a shockwave and you're going to have to jump to avoid it. And when he's in this state, actually, if I had Supersonic meter now and I could activate it, when he's in this state, it's perfect, because now you can just walk straight up over to him and you're right up to him, you're close to him, and you can activate Supersonic. The whole deal is you want to activate Supersonic as close to Exiled as possible so that you have as much time as possible to attack him. Because he's on a timer, the second you have activate Supersonic, he's on a timer, and when that timer hits 0, he's going to push you away, and you may have possibly just missed a 3 cycle. So be as close to him as possible, and then just start doing the attacks as fast as possible. It's really just a time game here. And you can do free attack suspension. He does that attack. He also has a beam attack where he shoots some beams. The best way to avoid that is just to boost away when he does the attack. Don't keep boosting when he's doing the attack. Boost after he's thrown out attack. Then you want to boost. And sometimes you get hit. It's just annoying. It's not super consistent to dodge it, but it can be dodged. And then there's his laser eyes. And for his laser eyes, or the laser beam that he does, you just want to keep running. Just keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. You can run behind him as well. Since you're collecting all these things, you can run behind him. And yeah, that's how you dodge it. It's not that hard anymore. It used to be really hard. Now it's not that hard, so don't worry about it. And if you get too close to Exile, he's also going to do like a ground stomp thing, and he's going to try to like slice you and stuff like that. So you don't want to be too close to him without Supersonic being turned on, of course, you know. So now we go around collecting these things here, and then we jump. And if we don't jump, that happens. And if you get damaged, you lose your meter set. And yeah, that's the attack. That's pretty annoying to avoid. And he's just spawned the Metarex. And the Metarex here are actually pretty useful for getting meter. So what you can do is you can, you know, attack Exiled. You know, you grab these water balloons. Normally we would have grabbed more water balloons than what we have right now. So you would grab water balloons, and then you attack Exile, bum bum bum. And then for the last phase, you would just go to a bunch of enemies and you would charge up Lightspeed attack, and you would Lightspeed attack the enemies, and it instantly gives you meter. And you can cancel Lightspeed attack with a Supersonic activation. So that's what we would do. But now we don't have these guys, so we're gonna just do this here. That laser beam is annoying, but it's not gonna hit me as long as I keep running. There we go, keep running, and activate Supersonic right here. Very fast. And now I can attack him. And as mentioned, this is gonna be free cycle. There we go. Now I go to where these guys are. Charge up. Release. There we go. See this? And then you go. Boom. And that's all she wrote. And yeah, this boss can be really, really annoying. So just practice, 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 practice. But that's phase 1 done. So we're going to move on to phase 2. And when you are here, you want to just press F to skip the cutscene to move on to phase 2. For phase 2, something to keep in mind is that oh yeah, quickly want to mention that you can only hit Exiled if you are in front of him. So if you're facing his back, you can't hit him. You need to be in front of him to attack him, both for phase 1 and phase 2. Just keep that in mind. For phase 2 here, Supersonic is always active, and what we need to do is just fill up the meter. And when the meter fills up, we can do a Chaos Blast, and that Chaos Blast is going to allow us to attack Exiled. So the way it works is the meter just fills up over time. If you get hit, it resets to 0, and your ring counter also like skips like 10 rings or something, like goes down a little bit more than just the normal counter does. Your rings are always on a counter right now. So if that reaches 0, you have to restart phase 2. And it's really just about avoiding attacks here. So what we do is we just kind of boost on the side here and then just try to avoid his attacks. And as long as you're just boosting to the side, you're going to avoid most of his attacks. He basically has that beam attack there where he's jumping. That's pretty easy to avoid. Just keep boosting and be kind of far away from him. If you're too close to him, it's pretty hard to avoid. And then he has a tail attack. But first he has the shockwave attack there. Yeah, let's talk about that because it happens right now. The shockwave attack is the perfect attack, again, for, you know, and when you have full meter to go for an activate meter. But in case you don't, what you want to do is you want to do a triple bounce. Right before he slams into the ground, you want to do a triple bounce. And then you want to double jump over the next. So if you want over here, triple bounce, release it, and then double jump. There you go. And that avoids it every time. And this is the tail attack, and he basically just swipes in a circle, and you just have to look for the fire, and then jump over the fire there, jump over the tail there at the last moment. And that's pretty much it. His attacks aren't that complicated. The most complicated one is the shockwave, which you're going to have to learn timing for, and it's going to be really annoying. Sometimes it just hits you. Make sure you're further above the wave than you think you have to be, because the hitbox is pretty disjointed. So it's going to hit you even if you don't think it's going to hit you. It might hit you. Just be as high above the ground as you can as possible. So now I have full meter. I'm just going to wait for him to do the shockwave attack just so I can demonstrate here. And again, it's possible to 2-cycle the Exiled here, but it's very, very, very tight. But it is possible. If you activate Supersonic right next to him and you attack him very fast and you don't miss a single attack, you can 2-cycle him. But 3-cycle is perfectly fine for starting out. Even 4-cycle is perfectly fine for starting out. 3-cycle is usually what I get. 2-cycle is really, really, really hard, but you can do it. And the key really just lies in being close to him as possible. And then making sure you're not too early with your attack so that you don't get double jump. So then we're going to attack it here. You have a little bit more time to attack him here than you do in phase 1. Yeah, that would not be 2-cycleable. As you can see here, I have 1 attack I'm missing for this to be 2-cycleable. So that was not even good enough for 2-cycle. So it's really, really tight. and don't worry at all if you can't get it. Also, fun fact for those who don't know, the music in the background is performed by the vocalist who did Dreams of Absolution, Silver's theme from Sonic 06, Bentley Jones. So that's really cool. This is probably my favorite song in the entire soundtrack. This is absolutely insane final boss song. Also really cool when you're doing runs to have this song as like the finale. Really adds to hype. As you can see here. Okay, that would actually be 2-cycleable. That would actually be 2-cycleable. So that is barely 2-cycleable. 2-cycleable. That would have been 2-cycle if I had hit that last hit right there. So the damage you saw there before is actually just barely enough to get 2-cycle. I thought it wasn't, but it is. So that's like the minimum you can have. So it's pretty tight, but with practice you can do it. So we've explained a lot now, but I think it's time to just show the final boss and, you know, get through it in one go to show how it looks. And that's going to be it for Sonic Omens. Any percent, no pause buffer. So also, yeah, of course, timer ends on the last hit you get on him. So you get the hit and then it does a cutscene and that's when the timer ends. So that's when you press time. And we don't have an auto splitter yet for the game, but we have a loadless timer, which takes away loads. But you're going to have to split manually on the last hit. So yeah. Anyway, let's do this. Mash F. Boost, and then it starts attacking him. There we go. I almost got it perfectly, but saw the last double jump there. That would have been an attack if I had been a little bit slower, so I was a little bit too fast there. So that can't happen. Just run between him here. There you go. Avoid that attack nice and slowly. There you go. Get these rings. Try to go over to him. Ah, that's annoying. That happens. I could not anticipate what it was going to do. I almost had, I wanted to be as close to him as possible. That ended up messing me up, but I'm going to get this guy and activate it. Oh, never mind. Just go and quickly restart, because this is a pretty bad start. Let's try again, since we are not doing a speedrun here. Yeah, for the last hit, when he turns his head, you want to delay your timing a little bit, because when he like puts his head backwards, if you do the normal timing if you do the timing that you do for all the other hits, you're going to double jump because he is further away, which means you need to wait a little bit before you can attack him. I'm going to this here. Yeah, that's annoying. Delayed, there we go, nice. Go to the Metarex here. Okay, just didn't get enough. There's not enough Metarex that's decided to spawn. And I don't need to activate it right next to him because I have enough damage to be able to get this in, despite messing up. You see, yeah, just like that. There we go. That's phase 1. Phase 2. Just boost, 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 boost. Wait. Triple jump. Release it. Double jump. There we go. Attack it. Nope. A little bit too late on my timing there. That's fine. We're just going to wait more. Okay. Gonna go close to him. Ah. You can't anticipate his moves. That's why this is super good, because that pretty much puts him in the center and he doesn't do anything for like 5 seconds where you have time to hit him. So I'm going to try to get close to him. There we go. Yeah, because I messed up that one homing attack there, that might mean that 2 cycles not happening. Okay, this can 2-cycle. This can 2-cycle. Trying to show here how 2-cycle, how you set up 2-cycle. Because even though it's really, really hard, it's just a matter of being close enough to him. He does 3 attacks there. Boom. That should be 2-cycle. Oh, I messed that one up. Maybe not. Yeah, just barely not. You see, I was 1 hit away. But that is fine. So, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching all these episodes. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're excited for running this game. If you are watched all the episodes and this is the final one and you're going to attempt runs after this. And, oh my god, wait a minute. Let me actually just finish this instead of being, trying to be cinematic. This is not super, what do you call it? This is not super clean, but having a guide is better than not having a guide. And with all that being said, that is Sonic Omens, any percent, no pause buffer completed. Congratulations on getting to the end. And yeah. Thank you for watching this episode. It was a little bumpy along the way. That's also how runs might go in Citadel of Lotus. That is a pretty hard stage. And yeah. You see the timer here is the in-game time. That timer will keep counting until the end here. But the actual timer for the any percent speed run ends on the last hit. So yeah. That is it for the speedrun. As mentioned, there's important links and whatnot to the speedrun.com page for this game with speedruns of the game where you can watch it, and there's also resources and other stuff like that. And if you want even more stuff, you can go join the speedrun Discord server, which is also going to be linked in the description below. And there's also, of course, the link to the playlist of all the episodes in this guide. So you can watch all of it through if you did not watch the previous episodes to learn the full game. And I don't know if I got much more to say. This game has a small community. I guess it's the final episode we can talk about that. It's a small speedrun community. But some runners have been very dedicated to find a lot of these skips that you've seen in these episodes here. And there's still probably plenty of optimization waiting in this game. We're still looking for more stuff, as I mentioned throughout the episodes. But this game has gone very far in terms of how far down it's come in time. So, yeah. Make sure to check out other categories if you're interested in that as well. We only have right now like a guide for this. I also put a link in the description below actually to AK8's guide of pause buffering, which is used in Unrestricted. So you can go check that out if you're interested in Unrestricted. Which, because you've learned no pause buffer, now if you want to learn Unrestricted, it's going to be even easier because you have a lot of the stages that you can't do pause buffer in, where you already know how to do them. So it's just adding a little bit of extra stuff. It's not actually learning the entire game. So there's that. Is there more I want to say? I mean, I don't know. I didn't think about the last words here. I don't know. I guess there's not much left to say. That's Sonic Omens, any percent, no pause buffer. Not the best guide in the world, but a guide at least. Better to have a guide than not to have a guide, as mentioned. And yeah. With all that being said, just gonna go to the main menu here. And we're done. So, thank you for watching this guide. Thank you for watching this episode. And yeah. Well, that being said, Dragon out.